Hi and welcome to the CWO channel. In this video I want to critique a video of Bob Gymlan. First of all, let me preface this by saying I'm a big fan of Bob's videos. I really enjoy them. I love his commentary and analysis on mainly on the Bigfoot subjects that he does. I think he's a great YouTuber. Great to see him on Joe Rogan, even though kind of Joe did all the talking and they didn't even discuss Sasquatch, but I really do like Bob's video, Bob, personally, in Bob's channel. This is not a personal attack, it's just a critique, and if anybody sees something in my video and they want to critique it, please do. I would welcome that. Now, the video in question was posted a couple of years ago, and it's entitled "The First Photo of Bigfoot and the Origin of the Great Bigfoot Cover-Up." Now, it is looking at a photo from 1984, and I'm just going to get the photo up so we know what we're talking about. And I'm going to read you what was written on the back of this photo. This photo, as Bob states, first appeared in a book on Bigfoot some time ago. And the back of the photograph purports to say, year 1894, Yallacombe River around Liliot, BC. Forestry, Hudson Bay Company. They took the picture, and the guy that was in the picture went and stole them back from the forestry records, Hudson Bay Company. I believe his last name was Holiday. Don't know the first name. Never took all pictures, only one, and took pictures of the rest. Glass plate photography. Now, the first thing I'd say is there's no mention of Bigfoot or even a mystery animal, just that this guy called Holiday took some pictures that ended up in the archives of the Hudson Bay Company, and then he went and took, without permission, one of the pictures that he had taken. And obviously this is purporting to be this one. Why he took it, we don't know. It doesn't say it contains anything unusual, anything that this man would like to publicize. What we can say it contains, though, quite clearly, is a dead animal in a snowy scene. The first thing I'd say is it's a poor quality picture. Obviously, it's very old. We can expect it to not be great quality. In fact, I'd say for a picture taken in 1894 in the wilderness, it's pretty good. It is a very high contrast picture, which is not helped by the fact it's a snow scene, which just adds to the contrast. The snow's reflecting the light. Things against snow appear very dark, so this scene itself doesn't help to distinguish what sort of animal this is. I would say here that Bob's comparison image between the photo and his artist reconstruction is disingenuous. Again, I like Bob. I think he's an honest person, but this is not an honest comparison. The snowshoes have purposely been made smaller. Suddenly the creature has massive shoulders. It's got a Bigfoot face. It's got hands that are tied together, all sorts of things going on to make it look like what it doesn't actually look like. I'd also point out that what's going on here is something known as forced perspective. Forced perspective is where you can make things in the foreground appear larger than they actually are. And you often do this by elevating them to make them seem large, and then the things in the background seem smaller. Because of the elevation, they seem to be, or rather I'd say the angle of which you're taking the picture makes the object look much larger than it is. In this case, you can see the subject is on a small angled ridge of snow. If you look, it slopes down from the right to the left side. It is lying on a bit of raised ground. We can tell that because to the right is a small spruce, which is below that ridge or that hump. So we can see that the ground dips behind that. Tree is not in snow that deep. It's popping up from behind that little raised area. it slopes down. So where the snowshoes are in the ground, obviously the ridge is lower. But still you can see that there's a space behind it where these snowshoes are placed in the ground. They are set back, I believe, from the subject to give it a forced perspective, which would make the subject seem larger and thus more mysterious. Now, Bob estimates that it is less than 5 foot long if the snowshoes are right beside it, which I'm not sure that they are, but he says less than 5 foot long, which is much smaller than an adult Bigfoot. That would be a very small juvenile Bigfoot. And let me say, the juveniles are said to have quite large heads. This thing has a very small head, which is not characteristic of a juvenile Bigfoot. Does anything else about this say juvenile Bigfoot to me? No. It's not. It's small, it's slender, it's long-legged, which big feet are generally not long-legged. Very small head. You cannot see primate-like or human-like features on this. It's got a small head that looks either rodent-like, feline, or a bit almost like a snowshoe hare. The next red flag for me is, again, I'm a digital professional, web designer, graphic designer by trade, photo editor. I've spent thousands of hours dealing with digital images over the years. I can't tell you how many photos I've edited, but it's been hundreds, if not thousands, many, many, many over my long time of experience. And obviously, old photos can be manipulated in Photoshop. But old photos can be manipulated at the time. And to me, if you look at the leg area, this photo has that very kind of telltale straight line that gives away that it's been doctored. There's some just strange straight lines, some strange, areas that are more blurry, and you can see the detail of other areas where the line is crisper, and I'll probably try and put up that fake picture of a Bigfoot, a hunter hanging up a Bigfoot, where you see the same kind of weird, unnatural looking curves and edges, which is a clear sign of either photoshopping or photo doctoring with the older technique. And what they used to have to do is actually cut the image or cut other images and then literally stick them on top to get this this doctored effect, to make things look different to what they actually were. And again, if we're dealing with high contrast photos, it's easier to do this. A very telltale thing to me is look at the wrist morphology. I'm going to show you here the bend of the wrist. Unless this is a juvenile Bigfoot with a broken forearm that is hanging limp, in fact both of them would be broken, clearly to me that is the poor and articulated wrist, not of a primate, not of a Bigfoot, not of a man, but of a small to medium-sized quadrupedal mammal. Something like a cat or a rabbit or something like that, or a canine. It's not the wrist morphology of a primate at all. That is not a hand on the end with fingers. It's a paw. But what is the final giveaway for me? Look at the head area. Right there. It's the telltale marking around the muzzle. You can see a mouth as well, that matches closely with the light chin, the dark mouth area of a Canadian lynx. In fact, it has the large paws of a lynx. It has the long legs of a lynx, and the way the back legs are stretched out is how it would look if you stretched out the long back legs of a lynx. So I simply think this is a picture of a lynx that has been doctored. They've cut off the where the ears would be. You can kind of see the area where the cat's eyes would be. They've doctored this to make it appear that it's something that it is simply not. And if you want the final kind of nail in the coffin of this whole purported Bigfoot photo, I have some exclusive information. What I did is actually around the time of that Bob's video came out, actually contacted the Hudson Bay Company, and I got this back from them, quote, "Thank you for your inquiry regarding photographs in our collection. Your interest in the Hudson Bay Company archives is greatly appreciated. Canadians are so polite. I've conducted a search of both our online and paper finding aids, and I could not find any mention of the photos you were interested in. An employee with the name Holland does appear, but in 1930, and there's no mention of him being connected to photos. We have a few photos from the Lillooet area, but these are from around 1900. They are in an album, not glass plate negatives, and they are mainly of the town and of prospectors. Also, as far as I can tell, HBC did not have a forestry department. I searched our creators database, card catalogs, and the annual reports, and there is no mention of a forestry arm." So I think that's quite conclusive. I think this is a hoax. This is just a shot dead bobcat. It looks particularly dark, probably because of the high contrast nature of the photograph, or maybe I'm not aware of any, very dark or melanistic bobcats, but maybe the photo was of note because it was a bobcat with very dark pelage, very dark fur, and that's why it was kept. No, nonetheless, this is not a picture of a young, tiny little dead Bigfoot with a tiny head. It's a doctored photo of most likely a shot bobcat from Canada. I think this is mystery solved. Please let me know in the comments what you think. You can agree or disagree, but please let me know why you agree or disagree. We avoid dogma on this channel. We are open to debate. I totally want to hear your opinions on this. And please do remember to like, share, and subscribe so we can help this channel grow and do bigger and better and more exciting things as time goes on. And please do check out our Patreon account, patreon.com/CWO channel. There you can become a member, get access to exclusive content, and also exclusive, really fun and interesting giveaways that we're going to be doing. Currently, we have a Bigfoot keyring giveaway. It's starting small, trust me, it will get bigger. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll catch you next time on the CWO channel.